What's up guys, Boss here, and today we're going to be testing out the newly reworked Electro Giant. So, as you guys probably know by now, balance changes are live, and the Electro Giant got an interesting rework. So I'm going to scroll down to it right here, just so you guys see it in case you missed it, which I'm sure most of you guys probably saw it, but if you didn't, it now costs 7 Elixir, the hit points 15% less, the damage 15% less. So the question, of the day, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering, is this a buff or is this a nerf? So the answer, might surprise you. A lot of people were thinking that it's a buff because it's 7 Elixir. I personally, from testing it, I pushed up a bit with it. I'm currently 397th in the world, so I played a little bit after the season reset. It seems to me like it's a small nerf. I'll explain it more, as the games go on, but yeah, this deck is pretty solid. You have a fast cycle with the cannon, 3.1 average elixir cannon, just a lot better than the cage in this meta, the earthquake, because there's a ton of buildings, and there's also a lot of people using the elixir collector or trying it out after the buff, so I'd really recommend earthquake. So if you guys would like to support me, you can use my credit code BOSS in any special game. But yeah, with that being said, let's try to push up more, and I'll show you guys the newly reworked Electro Giant. Alright, so we're in our first match here, and I guess as this first game's going on, I'll explain a bit why I think the Electro Giant is a little bit worse after the rework in the intro. As you guys know, whenever a card gets reworked, it always is usually a buff or a nerf that usually never remains the same. I mean, that's pretty much impossible. So the reason why I think it's worse is it's a lot harder for it to reach the tower. Yeah, even though it's cheaper, so it's slightly, I guess you could say, less of a risk to play because, it's 1 elixir value, less, so it's better for your cycle, but it's so much more difficult for you to reach the tower, especially, I'm going to say, against two things in particular. Mortar and Goblin Cage decks are going to be even more challenging, and they already were annoying for Electro Giant, but they're going to be even more annoying because the damage of the Electro Giant got nerfed, not the reflection damage. So the reflection damage is the same, meaning against things that actually shoot the E-Giant, like the Cannon, the Tesla, you probably are still going to be able to win against those occasionally, even though they are annoying. But yeah, the Mortar, Cage were already were already difficult, and now they're, even harder to beat. And we're gonna have to defensive earthquake here, which is kind of disappointing because I would really love to use it with the Electro Giant because he's gonna tombstone probably, but I guess it's okay because he did just use his graveyard, so he's not going to be able to counter push with this. But this is what I'm talking about. Do you see how the Electro Giant does so much less damage now? It took an extra shot to take out that tombstone, so that's kind of what I'm talking about in regards to it being more, I think, challenging to break through certain buildings, and it's just a lot harder to reach the tower. So another way I guess I could explain it is, do you guys know how when you're using Electro Giant, well, before it ended up getting what I think nerfed, you would end up being able to get it to the tower, and it would, it would do so much damage when it was only at 10% of its hit points. Well, now what's going to happen is you're going to get in those situations less often because it's going to be dead before it gets to the tower with 10%, of its hit points and deals, that 1,000 damage. It's just not going to happen in the first place anymore if, you understand what I'm saying. So that's kind of I guess another way of putting it. So we're going to cannon here. I really would, if possible, not want to use my, my log on top of the graveyard. And yeah, you can see the E-Giant already lost a huge chunk of his health, and he didn't even, sadly make it to the tower yet. So we're in a bit of a struggle here. I mean, he has Tombstone, which Earthquake does really good against, but the Electro Giant is just not, not getting to the tower like we need him to. So we'll just go Fire Spirit here, and I guess we'll just try our best to, keep up the pressure. We are going to have to cannon here. And yeah, once again, he is kind of baiting out my earthquakes, which is really annoying because I would want to use them on the tombstones, but I can't. So that is smart on his end to do that. I think we go Electro Giant here at the bridge. Hopefully now we can maybe reach the tower, maybe tornado everything in. We have to go Earthquake for sure. It's our only chance of breaking through. And then he's just going to tornado backwards probably. But I'm queening to keep up the pressure. Forces a poison out of him, so I guess that works. We're going to go ahead and pop the ability. And I think we go E-Giant at the bridge again, probably, when I have 10 Elixir, just because we want to force him to defend and not be able to play graveyards, because that's the only way I think that we'll actually be able to, you know, win this, because if he gets good graveyard pushes off, there's not very much he can do, we can do to break through. Okay, so high queen, so he can't get poison value, obviously. And then we go for our Electro Giant. Maybe just cycle... Okay, bad Tombstone, it just died. Ooh, I think he misclicked. That was probably supposed to be a tornado, but he accidentally played a graveyard. That's a pretty costly mistake, I would say. Hopefully that does, in fact... I have to use the tornado on the graveyard because we need to Earthquake the tower to ensure we're in the damage lead. And I think we barely get it. Let's go. Okay, in my opinion, not that easy of a matchup, but we were able to win because that was a misclick with that graveyard there. Completely wasted 5 Elixir, and sometimes it just takes one mistake and, you know, you can steal the game from your opponent. I'll take it. So, yeah, nice win. Let's head into the next one. And, you know, maybe that game was kind of hard for some of you guys to watch because if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if we got any damage from the Electro Giant that whole game, which is pretty crazy. I don't know if I did. I actually can't remember. Did I get the Electro Giant to the tower a single time? I don't know if I did. Anyway, let's go Skeletons here. And I guess we go Log. What is this guy using? Some kind of bridge spam deck? Maybe P.E.K.K.A? Hopefully not P.E.K.K.A, because P.E.K.K.A does pretty good against Electro Giant. We could just go ahead and cycle Earthquake. Yeah, that game we got like pretty much all of our damage from Earthquakes. It was crazy. Okay, he's gonna go Mega Knight. Ooh, Mega Knight. Mega Knight is pretty bad in my opinion after the nerf. I actually don't know who had it worse after the nerf, Electro Giant or Mega Knight, because both of them got, I have to say, hit pretty hard. So we're gonna go Electro Giant here, and yeah, that's gonna be a great counter to the Ram Rider. Gonna go ahead and Tornado the Queen inside of the Electro Giant circle. That's actually a bad thing that he activated the ability. Bad for him, I mean, because the Queen, as a result, dies quicker. And he's gonna have to sacrifice a Bandit, and yeah, that's unfortunate for him. We'll also get damage from the Queen. Even with the Barbell, it gets 3 shots. By the way, in case you guys didn't already know, Queen is, yeah, and you can probably tell from that hee-hee-hee-ha emote that, yeah, Queen is still pretty broken. So Fire Spirit coming in, and he's just going to ignore it. Tell you guys what, let's go E-Giant at the bridge here. Abuse, you know, the fact that it is 7 Elixir. This might be the one kind of, like, benefit of it being 7 Elixir. It is easier to pressure with it sometimes. That is kind of annoying, though, that pretty much the entirety of it died to that Inferno Drag there. I didn't know he had it because Mega Knight decks recently haven't had the Inferno Drag. They usually use, well, they usually don't have it. They usually have Queen and Lightning, but maybe this guy doesn't have the, I don't know, the Lightning, so he can afford to have. Either way, let's go Electro Giant here. I think this might defend everything, which would be pretty funny. So, yeah, I mean, Electro Giant may be still pretty solid on defense. Like I said, he's laughing again. I feel kind of bad. I mean, that is a pretty frustrating thing when, you know, one E-Giant kills your whole... Yeah, he just couldn't handle it. I don't blame him. But to be fair, I feel like in that situation when you're him, you probably want to play some stuff in the opposite lane, not clump everything together. Oh, no. You know they're mad when the sarcastic well-playeds come in. That's just... Oh, man. Yeah, the sarcastic well-playeds. I've seen that quite a few times. Alright, so we'll just get the 3 crown here. Really easy matchup. I mean, E-Giant pretty much destroys most Mega Knight decks. And, you know, Ram Rider isn't going to break through against E-Giant and the Cannon unless you know, play horribly, which luckily we didn't. Alright, let's head into the 3rd match. Okay, here we go. Levi. So, I guess we could just start with Fire Spirit at the bridge. See what he wants to do. He gives us the good luck, so we'll give him the good luck as well. He's going to go Wall Breakers, so we'll go Cannon. Wall Breakers usually means they're using a building, which I'm not really looking forward to because Tesla especially does pretty great against the Electro Giant. Bomb Tower does too, but we do have the Earthquake. This is why we're using Earthquake. That is a little annoying, I'm not gonna lie. I think the best... Okay, that's really good that he did that. He just wasted 2 Elixir. Yeah, I was gonna say, our best play... And again, that was a bad Queen activation, because it just... I don't know, I think it would have survived longer if he didn't do that. But yeah, let's see how our E-Giant does. Maybe not going to get a lot of damage. So here we go. You see how it's at barely any health, and it's still okay. I mean, it got a little bit of damage, but the old E-Giant would have certainly, you know, even though it would have been 1 more Elixir, I feel like in that situation it would have been better. I pretty much would have taken his tower with the old Electro Giant, so that really puts into perspective the difference, I feel like. So let's see if I know how to do the tornado placement. Oh, it died. Well, okay, I mean, we're still in a decent situation, I guess, but yeah, that was kind of bad, because now he can also use the Queen, and yeah, play it outside of the range of the circle. So that was a good play on his end. I guess I can just play my own Queen to snipe his, and mine will obviously win the interaction. And yeah, we're fine. Kind of just a little bit of a mistake with the tornado. I shouldn't have even done that. There was no point in being fancy. I could have just perhaps, I don't know what I should have done differently, but I don't know, maybe just tornadoed it backwards, or just played it correctly and not, you know, mess it up. That's probably the best out of all of them. So we'll just go Archer Queen in the back. I'm kind of I was trying to see if he would go Mega Knight at the bridge, like maybe predicting an Electro Giant in the back. He didn't, but we'll just go E-Giant on top of this, I guess. Because he has to defend both lanes, so this will be kind of interesting to see what he does, I guess. He's just going to Mega Knight. That's interesting. I think we should go E-Giant just to kind of, like, ensure that we take the tower, because otherwise, I don't know, I don't want him to, like, take mine and not take his, because things get a little scary. So we'll just log here, and cannon, and that is going to be GG. So 2 E-Giant decks beaten in a row. As I said, Electro Giant does really good against Mega Knight. I didn't even play that perfectly, but... And he didn't even have a building, but it was still a really easy matchup because he just has no DPS whatsoever for the E-Giant. So 7 Elixir E-Giant makes pretty much no difference against Mega Knight decks. Still going to do fine. It's just primarily going to be buildings that I think it's going to be worse against, which it already was kind of bad against. So 6,800, 318th in the world. Let's go ahead into the 4th match. Okay, here we go. See what our starting hand's looking like. E-Giant, so we do have the big fella in our starting hand. Not sure if we're going to go ahead and use it first play. Probably not. Okay, actually we are. Because 5 Elixir, right? It's pretty safe to go for a 7 Elixir card in the same lane, because it does do pretty well against it. Might force a response out of him in the other lane. We'll see what he wants to do. And yeah, he is actually going to go ahead and do that. So we are going to have to tornado and... sacrifice most of the Queen, but I think it's worth it because I didn't really want to take that Dark Prince damage, and he had to spend a lot of Elixir on that E-Giant, so we're not really down in Elixir as a result. I think maybe if anything we're down like 1 or 2, but we're pretty close to even right now with him for sure. So we'll just go Fire Spirit at the bridge just to fix our cycle, and then I might drop an Electro Giant at the bridge here, and I'm only gonna potentially do that because his Mini P.E.K.K.A's out of cycle right now, and I feel like that's really good to take advantage of, because Mini P.E.K.K.A is very good against the Electro Giant. It pretty much can, I think, fully counter it on its own. I think it for sure can after the E-Giant, you know, rework. And I keep doing it in quotes because I really think the rework was a nerf. But, okay, normally you could tornado a Mini P.E.K.K.A to the King Tower, but I think in this case we can't because it already lost, you know, almost half of its health, so we're just going to have to log it away, because if I tornadoed it, it would have died before it reached the King Tower. So he's going to go probably Graveyard here, right? Because if he's doing that, I would assume it's Giant Graveyard, but maybe not. I don't know why, though, he did that. Maybe he didn't realize I was using a cannon. Perhaps he thought I was just using... you know, no building, but usually Electro Giant has a building. If it's not the cannon, usually it's the Goblin Cage, so I don't know what his thought process was there. That was very, you know, very interesting, though, to say the least. So I guess we'll go Electro Giant. Wow, this is quite a good log value, I would say. And go ahead and pop the ability right now. Maybe go for Earthquake too, just to help kill everything a little quicker. And I don't know what this deck is. I am very confused what he's using right now. I do not understand. Skeletons just for this one bat. And maybe you go E-Giant at the bridge. Does this guy, like, not have a win condition? Is his win condition just spam? Like, I don't really... I don't really understand, guys. Maybe this is just, you know, just a mid-ladder creation, except we're not really in mid-ladder right now. We're kind of... I guess in a way early season can kind of be like mid-ladder, but I don't know. This is just spam, pretty much. Like, I mean, wait, I'm dumb. I just realized Giant is a win condition, but the thing is like, I feel like Giant right now, you know, this isn't 2017. You actually need to have a secondary win condition with it, right? Whether it's the minor, like in Giant Double Prince, or the Graveyard, which is more common, not just the Giant on its own, with a bunch of stuff behind it. I feel kind of bad for this guy. Like, he's just, like, spamming, and it's not accomplishing anything. That should be it. I think EQ does too. Oh my gosh. If I lost by 1 HP, that would have been... yeah, that would have been kind of awkward. But, you know, luckily we didn't. Alright, so 228th. By the way, I'm not going to claim the reward. I don't know if that's annoying you guys, because sometimes people like to see, like, YouTubers claim the rewards. I'm not going to do it just because I didn't get the Mighty Miner yet. I'm probably going to buy it soon. And I want to save the books for the Mighty Miner, obviously, so I don't want it to go to waste, because I already have one right now. A book, I mean. And by the way, they're easily the best decision you can make is saving them for champions. I'd recommend that you do that. All right, so 228th in the world. If we win the next game, I think we for sure are in the top 200. And yeah, this will probably be our last game. Why not? I mean, we could just do a 5-game, you know, video. Try to end on a perfect 5 for 5. That would be great. And I'll see you guys when we find the final match. All right, here we go. So I'll just... Okay, good luck. I guess I could just cycle... Alright, we'll just go Cannon here. And see what he wants to do. Fire Spirit coming in. Okay, he's got the Golden Knight. We're just going to cycle E-Giant. Why not? I don't know. It's a little risky, but... I don't know. I will say, it being 7 Elixir does... Okay, I think we could actually... It is a lot less risky. Pro tip, if you guys didn't know that. Oh, shoot. The level 16 skeletons, though, piling up on the tower. I just got Inferno. This is going to be tough. Okay, Inferno is one of the scariest things to play against when you're using Electro Giant. Pretty much any building is. Well, yeah. I mean, probably Inferno, it's not as bad as, like, Mortar, but still, when you don't have Lightning, it's really challenging to break through. And unfortunately, we do not have Lightning. We're using Earthquake. So we're going to have to try to outcycle his Inferno, go for an Electro Giant at the bridge immediately, try to take advantage of our fast cycle. He just used all of his Elixir. I bet you we're going to get a lot of damage, because he's not back to an Inferno yet, and I don't think he can afford much. Yeah, so we're actually going to... That was definitely a mistake, him going for that barrel and skeleton barrel, even though he got a lot of damage out of it. Oh, wow, he's laughing. He is not happy. Wow, I mean, it is his fault, so, I mean, he can't complain. I know it's frustrating, but that's why you don't spam everything when you're not at 10 Elixir. So good skeletons there. I guess we'll Queen. I don't think he has a rocket. I'd be very surprised if he did, considering he also has the, what is it, I believe, Delivery and the Inferno. I feel like his cycle would be pretty awkward. I really hope he doesn't have Rocket, because if he doesn't, I actually think we could win this at this point just by cycling Earthquakes, which would be pretty incredible, I would say. Skeletons to distract the Golden Knight. Alright, we got that under control. And yeah, let's see what he wants to do. We're going to go High Queen here in case he decides to play... Oh, well, he did play the Inferno kind of high, but not high up enough. So we're going to go ahead and pop the ability. And yeah, I think we're just going to cycle EQs at this point. So, you know, E-Giant might not be that much worse. I got to admit, I thought initially going into recording this video from playing like the prior games, I thought it was worse by quite a bit than what I'm seeing right now. But, you know, it's a little bit more, like, I guess it's a bit better than I originally thought. So, I don't know. I don't think we could really E-Giant. I feel like they both would just die to the Inferno. It would be pretty sad, but I still think we need to be cycling E-Giants because it forces him to defend, you know? And you can't just pressure the whole time because that's, you know, really, really annoying. So we have to apply some sort of pressure, and really our only way to do that is play E-Giants. But this Mirror Man is really annoying. So I think we got this, though. We just need to cycle at this point just 2 more Earthquakes and we win this game. Wow, I didn't expect to win this one, you know, based off of what he was using, but we had a really good start, and he overcommitted, and I took advantage of that. So, wow, yeah, we are going to get the win here. Yep, that's going to be GG. Is he going to laugh again? Is he going to laugh again? That's the question. No, he does not. Okay. So he takes the loss pretty calmly. All right, so cool. Pretty good video, I would say. We ended up getting 5 wins in a row. Not too shabby. I have to wait for that to leave. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I mean, we had some nice wins. The first one I didn't expect to win. Good matchup. I don't know what that deck was, and yeah, probably not that bad. All right, so yeah, let me know what you guys think of the Electro Giant. 175th in the world. Early seasons don't care too much about the rank, but it is nice that we're off to, you know, a decent start here to the season. Maybe my next video I'll test out Mirror, as I bet there's a lot of fun decks to use with Mirror. Maybe I was thinking of doing like a Grand Challenge or something for fun using 2.0 Electro Giant Cycle. You can actually use 2.0 Electro Giant Cycle because it's 7 Elixir, and you can use like only 1 Elixir cards, 2 Elixir cards, and then like Mirror, and you can get 2.0. That could be fun, like a troll deck. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the Electro Giant. Let me know if you agree with me that you think he's slightly worse. Do you think he's the same? I guarantee you he is not better. I think there are some people saying that, but I think there might be people just nervous, or they're not looking at the big picture. They just saw 7 Elixir and they're like, oh my god, E-Giant, you know, 7 Elixir, not 8 Elixir anymore. It's like going to be even better. I think it's a small nerf, but let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like the video if you guys did end up enjoying it. Subscribe if you guys are not subscribed already, and thanks again until next time, guys.